Ryan Seacrest here. When you have a busy schedule, it's important to maximize your downtime. One of the best ways to do that is by going to ChumbaCasino.com. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino games like spin slots, bingo, and solitaire that you can play for free for a chance to redeem some serious prizes. So hop on to ChumbaCasino.com now and live the Chumba life. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Scene Snobs podcast live. This isn't the intro, though. This is for just me because I have something to talk to you guys about. And that is, do you ever have that time where your significant other is looking at your Franks and Beans and they're just like, whoa, I don't have a map to get through this jungle. What's going on here? Take care of that. You are a mess. It happens to me. I don't care how big my shaft is, or so my guest tonight will talk about. So I go on and I use our sponsor, Manscaped. This is a lawnmower 3.0. It's beautiful. It takes care of so much of that grass all around the knoll, if you know what I'm saying. So go out, get yourself one of these, okay? Because Manscaped supports the Scene Snobs podcast. It is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming trimmer. Manscaped is precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. I love rhymes and limericks, and that's definitely one. They obsess over their technology developments to provide you the best tools for your grooming experience. Manscaped is trusted by over 2 million men worldwide, so why not you be one of them? Ladies, it's a perfect gift. Get going. Get on it. And I'll tell you why. Because we have an exclusive offer for my listeners. 20% off and free shipping with code SNOBS, SNOBS, at manscaped.com. And without further ado, I'm going to take myself out. I'm going to intro the show, and then we are going to get started. Special guest tonight is author Fred Carroll to talk about his new book and his podcast. So sit right there. Think about Manscaped. Go to them after the show because you're going to not want to miss this. I'll talk.
Welcome to the Scene Snobs podcast.
It's Tuesday night, and that means one thing and one thing only at 9 p.m. It is Mick and the Madman. What's up, buddy?
Howdy, buddy. How's everybody doing tonight? Pleasure to see you.
I think everybody's doing just fine, and, I love them, I love you, and I love our guests tonight, so it's going to be a fun show.
I know. I'm very excited, especially after being fully assaulted by the pollen. The last day and a half has been brutal.
I always forget about pollen in the spring,
mm-hmm.
and it always reminds me very hard, like a brick wall.
Oh, yeah. I got brutalized. I was like, all right, finally, everything's kicking in. Doing better.
Jason Taylor says, did Casey cut his hair? Did Casey cut his hair? No.
Yeah.
They looked at that sexy face, and they ran away.
Yeah, they were scared. They were terriried. I finally cleaned up some mirrors, and it was like,
Whenever, shut up. Whenever you shut your mouth. All right, no. Whenever you get your hair cut and short like that, it's like model mode Casey, and it pisses me off because I'm like, when you're scraggly, I'm like, all right, I got a chance. The ladies are watching, they think that we're great and all, but they're looking at the Mick and they're like, yeah, all right, that guy's kind of cleaned up. He looks good.
Well, he looks great. Look at him. He's got the eyebrows thing going for him, that fancy hair gel. He knows what he's doing.
I can do both. That's right, ladies. I go both ways.
Fascinating.
Make him dance. All right. So, but you look sexy, buddy. I love when you got the short hair because I don't know what it is. You just look like you belong strapped to a rocket, taking pictures for, some male magazine that's going to sell lots of, male goods.
See, that's funny because you say that, but I hear strapped to a rocket and I think like, am I being launched off? Am I like some sort of superhero? Am I saving the people from being hit by the rocket? Is there a supervillain who has strapped me to it?
I never think that far ahead, man. I don't plan. You know that.
That's valid.
My analogies just kind of stay where they're at. We got a pretty good show tonight. We got a great guest. I mean, we have great guests every week.
I love Fred. Super excited for him. My fellow Connecticutian.
Well, you know what? You take it away. Why don't you introduce first before you do, though, because I have it right here.
Yes.
I want to say we're going to be talking about his new book, The 70s 8-Track, a rock anthology. I picked up my copy. It is available on Amazon. If you go in the description, you can go to the link. But please, sir, take it away and introduce our guest.
The fantastic and wonderful host of Within the Head of Fred, and also the podcast of Ending the Stigma. It is the one, the only Fred Carroll.
Woo! Jeff Dwoskin. Woo!
What's up, guys?
What's going on, buddy? Oh, you had to wear that stupid hat.
Yes. Oh, you look beautiful. Gosh, you're
And
fantastic.
they're winning again.
Yes.
Again.
Oh,
Xander just hit a 3-run shot. It's
Oh,
beautiful.
wow.
It's
I mean,
beautiful.
after 9 in a row there, I mean, that's just on a tear. I love it.
On a tear. Offensive fucking machine.
we have no room for you Red Sox fans here. No, it's a one Red Sox fan community on this show. So one of you has to go tonight.
No, absolutely not. Take your Yankees and take it in the back seat, Chief.
I did hear about you guys talking about pollen and everything, and I have a question if I could ask it.
Of course.
What's it do to your vaginas?
Oh, it actually shrivels mine like crazy.
Listen, I'm not saying I have a sandy vagina, but it's not sandy.
Okay, because you sound like a bunch of fucking bumbling, fools right now. You're not.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. It happens, man. It's a struggle.
You don't even sound like men.
Well, we don't try to sound like men.
Yeah, I'm not often accused of that.
Oh no, Jason Taylor says go Red Sox, and we hate you too.
I told Jennifer I was coming on the show, and she told me to tell Mick to go fuck himself. That's love.
She can tell me all day long to go fuck myself because the lovely Jennifer, wonderful author in her own right. Go buy her book as well. We'll put that in the description as well.
You know what? Fuck
she's
her.
Beautiful. I'll take it.
Let her come on shows on her own. Fuck her and her books now.
We're pimping Fred tonight.
This is all about Fred. Jennifer is in the next anthology, rock anthology, though.
Nice.
Very nice. So we will get the most beautiful Jennifer on the show.
Yeah. Well, you say that. Everybody says that, but Jennifer doesn't make time. She's selfish. Let's just call it what it is. She's selfish.
Selfish enough to be here tonight.
She's selfish.
Welcome our next guest.
That would be great.
Right.
And she's home right now. She's probably not even watching because she should be commenting and blowing it up and everything, but she's not because she's selfish. Her name's not on the 70s 8-track, even though she did write the foreword. I don't know if you saw that.
Yes.
Well, Jennifer joined us. Fred is being the guy. What the fuck? You're too sweet. I am not. Seriously, Jennifer, you're always welcome on this show.
Always.
You would just
fantastic.
Ratings would go through the roof.
Mick, all she does is talk shit about you when
I'm okay with it. Beautiful women like that are allowed to talk shit about me.
When we did our Big Dick Mick episode, we signed off, let you go and everything, and she called bullshit on the whole thing. Bullshit
okay.
on the whole thing. She said,
doesn't bother me.
Yeah, well, it should.
That's not part of this show, Jennifer. That's not part of this show.
This is
here's the thing. I don't mind people saying I have a big dick, and I don't mind people saying I have a small dick, because regardless, I'm not using it.
He just likes people talking about his dick, just acknowledging it's there. That's all.
I prefer people call me a dick. Call me a dick.
Since we're talking about Jennifer, unless we're off topic, or is there any topics or anything, or do we just
Fred Carroll's the topic tonight, Fred.
Carroll.
Well, the one thing about Jennifer that is so odd in my life, because she's the first woman, I'm 51 years old. And by the way, she's going to be 3019 in a few days. She's going to be 3019.
I don't know if we're allowed to say that. That might be murder worthy.
Well, tell her to come on the show and fight with me. But what I wanted to say was Jennifer is the first woman in my life, beyond being related, that I am truly just friends with. I love her to death, and we have such a good time when we're together on the podcast and stuff, and she works well off me. I work okay off of her, and stuff like that. But it's a very unique thing in my life. Usually I have to be attracted to the woman from a physical standpoint, but with her, it's purely just friendship, and it's mental, and we enjoy the fuck out of each other.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing when you find other people that you can just connect to on that level.
Well, Jennifer is actually messaging us and saying that, no, you're actually secretly in love with her. And she's a little tired of it.
She won't get tired of it. You know what? She's replaceable, and she knows it. She's replaceable. She's highly, she's a total dude.
A dude, what can she say? I listen. Hey,
Nothing wrong with being a dude.
perfect package right there.
She is good. She's very good at what she does, and she brings stuff to the table every week. This week we have Alex Steele coming on. Alex
Nice.
is going to be
Alex, of course, from the Entertain This podcast right here on the channel. Fred's show, Within the Head of Fred, of course, is on the channel too, and we're here to talk about him.
Yeah.
And I will ask this question for anybody who's watching who may not have seen Within the Head of Fred. Why don't you tell us about it a little bit?
So Within the Head of Fred, I started it about, I'm roughly in the 3 to 4 year range on it now. It started as the Double D podcast because I spelled Fred with 2 Ds. And it was relatively successful, but I was doing it on my own. I had co-hosts every now and then, but they would never stick, and none of them were like Jennifer. So I gave up on it because it's such a frustrating business. It's more time consuming more than anything. And I brought it back and also have other shows, but I brought it back as Within the Head of Fred, had a good co-host, but unfortunately she just ghosted all of a sudden, and it was much rougher. I was really hard hitting, real potty mouth stuff. So with Jennifer, we were able to start it. See what that's when I compliment her. She thinks I'm being a pussy and she's so tough, but she's really, she's really not. She portrays.
She's not tied up in the basement.
Well, she might be, but she likes it that way. So
Fair
enough.
Prefers it. But when I started Within the Head of Fred, I did about 10 or 11 episodes in the season, the new season 1 of it, and interviewed Jennifer, who I didn't know prior to this. She had a book coming out. We brought her on. We interviewed her. We had great chemistry during the interview, and I immediately asked her if she wanted to be a co-host, and the next week she was full-time. And
That's awesome.
She's only missed one show since, and I don't know what the reason was. It could have been feminine. I don't know. Well, she's 30-19. Those days are past.
Oh God, Fred.
She's living in the future. It's fine. We're just gonna take it that way. She's like Barbarella.
Yes, but no, she missed one show, and I don't remember why. She had some excuse. She went with it, and ever since then, it's been working out. So far, it's been working out. But we are excited to have Alex on. I think I love his show. I love how I find him to be very, I guess, entertaining, since it's Entertain This is his podcast. But the real reason I'm bringing him on is because he is going to be one of the authors in my next anthology.
Oh, that's great.
Alex is going to write a story for the summer of '87, which looks like this.
So let me ask you this. I love the fact that he is writing a story from the perspective of 1987. What time machine is he going to go back to, considering he was born in like 1998?
I wish I could remember what song he picked. Oh, he picked an Aerosmith song from Permanent Vacation.
Okay.
Wow. And he said, I'll tell you this, the song he picked, I've never even heard the song. It's not a hit or anything. So I think that's part of the attraction of Alex, is he's more worldly than we're giving him credit for. He probably
absolutely is.
Well, of course.
I'm busting balls, but their whole show, Entertain This, is a fantastic show.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's not giving him much credit, but he's still from Kentucky. I mean, he's Kentucky smart.
That's valid. Well, no, I mean, they had to learn 2 things, like creationism and, so it's impressive. They had a lot to go through.
And don't diddle your sister. It all falls into the same category. But Mick is in that area too. He's
important life lessons. He's from Jersey. It's different there.
Yeah.
Our life lessons are way different.
Jersey. Kiss her where it stinks. Take her to Jersey.
It involves a lot more belts.
And I heard you, Casey, first of all, I didn't even know you were from Connecticut, and I still don't believe it because I've never even heard of the town you're from.
Yeah, Falls Village.
Where
We
is
don't
it?
exist. It's up in the northwest corner near Salisbury, part of Lakeville,
So it's up,
near Cornwall and Kent.
it must be up near, on the New York side.
Well, just shy of it. So it's like 15 minutes stuck up in, nestled up in the corner on the Appalachian Trail. Well, we mountain folk.
You're not from Connecticut. You're from the mountains.
I'm not from you rich pots of Connecticut.
Right.
Listen, all I know is I've been to Connecticut. It's cute. Hartford, or what is it? Yeah, Hartford, right?
Mm-hmm.
The name of it is a world all its own. Let's just say I'm surprised I don't hear about more officers on the news from Hartford.
Yeah, well, luckily I'm nowhere near. Jennifer's just outside of Hartford. She's in Massachusetts, but just over the Connecticut border where Six Flags is and all that stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't go. I'm actually going to Hartford tomorrow. I got to drop someone at the airport, so I'll be in Hartford area tomorrow. Hartford's not that bad. It's where you are in Hartford. First of all, parts of Hartford are very wealthy. Because that's our capital. Mm-hmm. So all the politicians are out there and stuff, but there's parts of Hartford that have some serious cash.
And then there's other lines, like 2 streets over, and it's like, ugh.
Yeah. Well, that's why we put east, west, north, south, the Hartford, and it gives you an idea where you're going.
Mm-hmm.
Connecticut, where to live when you don't want to live in the city you work in.
Right.
Pretty much.
It's exactly that, because we're being flooded now by New Yorkers buying homes. But since COVID, and they could work from home, they could just buy homes here. The home prices around here are just through the roof.
Yeah. I grew up in Jersey, and they used to say about Connecticut, it never snows in Connecticut. That's just all the rich assholes from New York bringing all their cocaine.
Well, there is. Listen, I haven't done cocaine in a long, long, long time. And by that, I mean a few days.
That's right on the cocaine timetable. Like, it's been a while, like 2 weeks. Woof.
Well, you guys know me. Can you imagine this on cocaine? I don't
want to. I don't think it's safe.
I don't shut up now, and I'm already an asshole. Why intensify all of it?
You strike me as a guy, like, back in the day, if you were like, hey, all right, let's party, and you're like, maybe a little docile, you didn't have any cocaine in your system, we'd be like, get this man some cocaine. We're going to go wild tonight.
I went through a stage of, I think I was from 17 to like 19, around that age. I went through a lot of straws, a lot of dollar bills, a lot of seedy motels and hotels. And
God, 17 to 19, that's so young. You're still a baby.
I know, but listen, and when I was 17, it was 1986. We couldn't fuck because people had AIDS, so we had to do drugs, and that's what it came down to. But 1986, it was the summer. It was fun.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this: there is no such thing as seedy hotels in Connecticut. They're all called bed and breakfasts.
Yeah,
you'd be surprised.
You'd be surprised. The one thing people get thrown off whenever I say I'm from Connecticut, they instantly think you got money. But we have, even the neighborhood I live in, where I live right on the coastline, we have millionaires, big time millionaires that live right on the ocean. But we also have trailer parks.
Yep.
And they all go to the same high school. Yep. And I used to tell my daughter, let's fucking find out where they live before we date them. Let's aim a little high, just a little.
Who's the wrong side of the tracks versus the other normies? Yeah.
You can't, we have all these rednecky people. I mean, I think everywhere you live, it's the same. You got your lefts and your rights and your ups and your downs, but we're a democratic state. So it's always has been.
Mm-hmm. You'd have to be Giants fans and Red Sox fans.
Well, that's the worst part about living here is being a Red Sox Patriot fan. I get hammered because I'm closer to Giant Stadium and I'm closer to Yankee Stadium. I can get to Yankee Stadium about 45 minutes if I drove. And it takes me three hours to get to Fenway Park.
Yep.
Oof.
Yeah, Fenway for us was about 3.5.
Jennifer's still listening.
Why not?
Might be
She's supporting her co-host.
Yeah, she ain't supporting me.
Or she's got an alarm going off every like 5 minutes, like, oh, type something.
or I mean, she's just wants to check out the goods.
How about she take care of her husband and leave me out of this?
I'm gonna say the yes is to the goods part. That's what that meant.
Yep.
Yes, I'm gonna.
Has stare at Mick's eyebrows. I get it.
I do want to touch down on your new book, the 70s 8-track, a rock anthology, just came out. I got my copy. I'm going to show it off again. So tell me, Fred, what is the book about? Where can people get it? And then just tell us, like, kind of what was the inspiration for it?
So, because I have such a love for music in general, music has always been important for my writing. I'm a crank it up loud, play it through my headphones while I write. Some people need complete silence. I need music. And I always see a movie when I hear a song or remember a memory, the first time you kissed a girl, what song was playing, all that stuff. So I came up with this idea several years ago, but I didn't know how to implement it because originally I wanted to actually write the stories. Like I wanted to take Stairway to Heaven was one of my earlier thoughts and write the story Stairway to Heaven, but you can't legally do that. So instead,
stupid copyright laws.
Yeah, stupid copyrights. But instead I came up with the idea of just using songs as inspiration and let it just go from there. Because if you read my story, for instance, is Breathe by Pink Floyd. Now, I'll go on record saying it's not the best thing I've ever written. It's not the worst thing I've ever written. It's an experimental story that I tried. Basically, I went in blind. I've never done this before. I had no plan. I just sat down and wrote whatever was on my mind using the lyrics of Breathe in chronological order through the story. And you'll see they're highlighted. The lyrics are highlighted. Now, it was very difficult to do, but the story is just, it's not a feel good story. It doesn't have a conclusion. I'm very open-ended. I love movies that are open-ended. I love things that just end because that's how life really is. Just because somebody died today, you still are alive tomorrow and your life continues. So I just end the story. But the rest of them were fantastic. The authors I worked with were amazing. They all had their stories on time. It's hard to manage 8. And I've got a partner working with me on that, Andrea Miles Rhodes. I believe she's watching right now. And if I don't say her name, she charges me more. Another girl in my life drives me crazy. But
all the best ones do.
Yeah. Well, she's a little nutty too. She's like me. She's a control freak. I'm a control freak. She's a control freak. And we try to put our heads together. Instead, we just pound our heads into each other. But luckily, I don't ever have to see her.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. But
always an effective strategy.
And the book itself,
Hartford way.
The book itself is doing okay. This was an experiment. I'm trying to come up with better marketing plans for indie authors because, quite honestly, being an indie author sounds great, right? And we're going to talk to Alex about this when we're there tomorrow, Thursday. I'm sorry, and it just the whole thing. Amazon is making more money than we are, and we're doing the work, and it's quite frustrating. You would think after putting all those hours into a book, you would get at least your friends to buy it. Forget it. Friends don't buy your shit. Your parents stop buying it and stuff. Yeah, well, you bought it. You bought it. It
would have been funnier if you said, you're not my friend, dick.
Yeah, exactly. It was wide open.
I said friends. Hey, there's Alex. Look, Alex is there.
Hello, Alex.
Alex.
Hey, buddy.
Alex's first name on a book. Look at that.
Nice.
Boom.
First name on a book. That's a great feeling. So
that's awesome.
But for the 70s 8-track, it came together well. The authors were excited about it. if anything, we may not make a lot of money off it, and it's not going to be some top New York Times bestseller. It did debut at #1 on Amazon.
I mean, there you go. That's pretty stellar. It's a strong start.
And that's a great thing for indie authors. What makes it the best is all 8 authors now have the ability, whenever they're writing a book, they could say best-selling author.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'll tell you this. I've been putting best-selling author on my stuff for a long time because I have a different marketing theory. Because, for instance, my first book was Emily Anonymous. Now, it sold a couple hundred copies and all that stuff. Never hit a best-selling list. But in my eyes, I am the best-selling author of that book. Nobody else has ever sold 100 copies of that book, which makes me the best-selling author of Emily Anonymous.
That's a bravo way to think it.
Very true.
Boom.
And fuck Amazon. Fuck these guys.
Wait, hold on. Now, what do you mean fuck Amazon? Like, to what degree? Like,
Welcome to the Scene Snobs, brought to you by Amazon.com.
Oh, yeah, please
I don't
never.
think that's going to happen. But,
He's a realist.
They really part of the problem with the indie author market are the authors. They either overvalue themselves or undervalue themselves. I can't stand 99-cent books. When I see a 99-cent book by an indie author, I want to choke them, because I understand it from a marketing standpoint. If you have a new book coming out, maybe 2 weeks prior, you drop all your books to 99 cents to get new people interested. But there's people coming out of the gate selling their book for 99 cents. You just worked a quarter of your life writing this thing and you're worth $1 in your eyes. I don't think any ebook should be under $2.99.
I think that's completely the way artists value themselves, and they've been allowed to be devalued.
Yeah, they undervalue
in a lot of way.
And I tell people this all the time, and it doesn't get through. Authors they're difficult people to deal with. We're all difficult in our own way because of it's
especially you Mavericks, wild cards out there.
It's opinionated. It's what your vision is versus their vision. Sometimes the story hits home to you, doesn't hit home to them. And just getting the sales. Getting sales is tough. Amazon has cornered this market. It's 80% of all books are sold on Amazon. And it's not even worth going anywhere else because you're just not getting it. Now, audio works well. Audiobooks are great, but they're also very expensive. Luckily, I have a studio and I could record my own audiobooks, but it's still this shitty fucking voice reading you the fucking book.
You mean those sexy dulcet tones? Come on, Fred.
Well, I know of 2 guys who host a show that wouldn't mind reading a couple of chapters for you.
But then you want money. See, that's what I'm talking about.
I only want 99 cents per book.
Yeah, 9. But I did my kids' books. I have a kids series called The Adventures of Left Eye Lazy, and it's 4 books in right now. And I've got 4 more planned and some ready to go. And that's just about, I took that book. If you want me to discuss that book, I can.
Fire away, yeah.
Actually, I do have a question for you after. I want you to tell me about the book, but I do have a question about that series.
Yeah, so The Adventures of Left Eye Lazy is about a kid that lives in Woodmont Falls. Now, I grew up in Woodmont, which is Milford, Connecticut. So I created a fictional town. But Left Eye Lazy is actually me. I do have a lazy left eye in real life. And I don't know if you could tell on camera and through the glasses. Mostly you can't. But
good screening effect.
Yeah.
Look at me when you're talking to me.
There's a benefit to it. I could look at 2 girls at once. I've never been sucker punched from the left. It's amazing.
Helpful.
This is very fair.
Very helpful. Very helpful.
It's the weirdest superpower ever.
All right. But I just created.
Oh, man, I was looking at the wrong left.
I created a completely fictional story around my life. So I put real life events, but created characters. Like Left Eye Lazy lives with his grandparents. I didn't live with my grandparents. They didn't even like me. I wasn't the grandson.
That would have made for a very less interesting story. Maybe a bit sadder.
Yeah, but they're young. So they start out, I believe, in 7th grade. And my theory is to bring this book series straight through high school, which means in a young adult world, I am going to be talking about, I'm very honest in the books. I talk about death. We talk about cancer. We talk about the sexuality of having a crush on your neighbor, the girl next door, living with your grandparents because your parents are drug addicts. And these are kids' books, in kids' books. Of course, I do it with kid gloves, everything I'm talking about. And they all have sweet resolve at the end. And they're just good stories. And those do well. Those do good in the libraries and stuff. But what question did you have about that series?
Well, it's not so much a series as it is like, okay, so the Rock Anthology is a very different book from writing, essentially a kid's book. What is it, for you, what's the mentality between writing both is my first question. And secondly, when you are, after you've written, and, maybe you're going on, you want to try something different like the Rock Anthology, how do you go back? Like, what's your transition for everything?
Well, I do have a unique ability, and it's also a flaw at the same time. Most authors could only work on one book at a time as they're going. I have 4 going, plus screenplays. So I have numerous stories. I just wake up in the morning, open my, editor, and whatever I feel like clicking on, I click on and I start and write. But I will tell you this, I've never written a novel yet. I have yet to write a novel. And that's where the flaw comes in. I'm no good at fluff. I'm not going to give you 2 pages of the sunset. I'm going to tell you the fucking sun is setting. The fucking sunset looks like. I don't got to fucking tell you what color it is. But that's,
you don't want to try to feel it? You don't want to be able to close your eyes and go there?
I do, but my problem is I get too excited. I want to get to the end. I want to get to the juice. I don't want to be there with the fluff and the pretty flowers and her hair. But that's because of my movie. I started in movie writing, and this is where it's hurting me as an author. I don't have what Jennifer's very good at that type of stuff. And she's a true author. I'm a screenwriter that became an author. She's a author, if that makes a difference.
I can understand that mentality for sure. I left Bub77's comment up. Hello, snobs. I know what he means. My wife is an author, and Amazon is hurting things. Now, we've heard that a lot, and you touched down on that yourself, with how Amazon does things. Do you think there's another way or a way out to kind of go about this or combat this?
Well, just like in podcasting, and you guys are aware of this, first of all, there's too many people doing it. Okay? There's too many people that think podcasting is easy because it is easy from a standpoint of you could do it on your cell phone.
Yeah, the simplicity of it.
The simplicity of it is easy.
The access to it.
But being funny is not easy. Being entertaining is not easy. Being a good interviewer isn't easy. Being able to edit properly, being able to have these microphones that we have with all these cool things and stuff like, who could get all this stuff, all these toys,
all these magnificent toys.
These magnificent toys. But authoring is very much the same. See, Amazon has no parameters. Basically, I could shit on a piece of paper and just upload it to Amazon and they'll sell it.
I feel like there's another step missing there. Maybe one more.
Yeah.
You got to smear it on the paper. You can't just shit on it.
Right. Yeah, you got to smear it. But I'm just saying, you could literally, there's people out there, and I hate using the word literal. I just sounded ridiculous. So
literally
out there that have released 30-page books and sold them for $2-3.99 as ebooks. Nobody checks the editing. Amazon doesn't care if it's edited. They don't care if it's indented. They don't care if the font is a different font for each letter. All they care about is to cover a JPG. Is it sized properly to ebook size? And does it have the pixel amount? They don't care what it looks like after that, unless it's got nudity on it. Then they won't allow it.
Yeah.
But there's too many people out there that aren't studying the craft of writing. They're just getting into it because just like podcasting, it's very easy to just get a template from Word Perfect or Word, whatever, Microsoft Word. You could get a template, it sets it for you, and you just type away.
No, that used to piss me off like crazy, being in filmmaking. I did 15 years of screenwriting courses, seminars, schooling, the whole night just to learn how to do this. I've read every book, and
it paid off so well to become a podcaster.
And I still am No, I'm getting there. But I am a podcaster. That's the whole point. Because there's an oversaturation of people just being, I'm going to write a screenplay, and they buy this shit. And then you read it, and you're just like, what are you doing? You don't even know your craft, you assholes.
Like the last 5 Bruce Willis movies, pretty sure those were written and purchased for some low-end money.
Because screenwriting, the difference between I try to explain, a lot of people come to me from my inner circle and ask me about turning their book into a screenplay and adapting it and stuff like that. And I usually talk to them, and I try to tell them they could do it themselves if they just do some studying. Because in screenwriting, the only difference between writing a book and writing a screenplay is the technical aspects of it. You have to, in screenplay, you have to know the rules, or they'll just toss your script right in the fucking trash. If it's not properly spaced, centered, if you don't have your characters developed well enough, if you don't know what you're doing with a fade in and a fade out, and, don't give them direction and cameras.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be a control freak in a script, but script writing is simplistic, but the story and your verbal back and forth has to hit home. It's got to be 100%. You can't sit there. You can't just sit there in a screenplay and say, "Hi, Mick, how are you? I'm good. I'm fine." Because nobody talks like that.
Right.
And nobody wants to read that. And that's the thing. When you're trying to sell this, people have to read it. And if they're reading just something that seems stupid, they don't want to do that.
Right. Exactly.
And then you have some people who want to put out like Mammoth or something, with that faster, quick, snippy responses. So that's, it depends on how people.
There's more of the snippy responses, but the Mammoth stories are at least perfectly 3-act structure. Mm-hmm. So he tells a really good story, but I do agree on his dialogue. You're kind of like, all right, man, we didn't graduate MIT. Chill the fuck out. Like, it's a little much sometimes. We're not Princeton English scholars.
The hardest part I tell people is you can't, and it goes right back to my flaw in writing books. You could go into a book and tell the girl with her beautiful blonde hair and how it blows in the wind. When you write the script, she's just girl. That's it, girl. Because the minute you dumb down the actress pool or that part, you're done. Unless her hair has to be blonde. And that's why so many people say, this isn't how I read the book, imagined it in the book, because in the script, it's not a blonde girl, it's a brown hair girl in the movie, and it just.
It's also whatever actress actually got the role at the time,
Right.
They'll change it up even after that. I will say, going from like with screenwriting stuff, like a perfect example, and I've always used it, is Saving Private Ryan. The first 30 minutes of that movie was a paragraph in the script.
Right.
They get off the boats on D-Day.
The problem with that is me and you couldn't get away with that, though. We would have had to put that into detail.
Right.
They had a lot of money behind them. I'm sure they had Tom Hanks already signed on.
They did not. Actually, nobody bought that script for years.
Really?
Yeah, it was Steven Spielberg was behind it, but he finally was just like, we need to get this done. I want to make this movie. And that's when it like really kicked gears.
Yeah. I worry about with this world we're living in now. I worry about the book business, the movie business, and just so many other things out there that are just a comedy. Oh, comedy. This scares the shit out of me. What the world is going to allow comedians to say now and get
Yeah.
I'm so worried about it. I mean, luckily we got people like Jeff Dwoskin.
Jeff Dawson. Oh, man.
Look at Jeff.
Love it.
And Jennifer, I will read your books. Most entertainers suffer pretty heavy depression too, especially comedians. Yep, that is a fact. We got 3 right here.
Speak for yourself. You guys are funny. I just got funny looking.
Until you got the haircut, and then it's just like, oh my God, look at this chiseled man. This chiseled man beast. See, you're not the only one with sexy co-host.
Yeah, you definitely have one. Look, and listen, I heard him on Jeff's show the other day. Did you hear that?
I did.
Yeah,
Very talented.
it was. I love your who's the now I can't think of his guy, the more cowbell guy.
Oh yeah, Christopher Walken. That guy is funny that way. He's got jokes. He just talks weird and slow.
So when I was working in Westport, I'll do a hold on.
Jeff Dwoskin. Name drop.
Oh.
I was working in Westport, and I just left, and I went to the gas station, and there's Christopher Walken at his car filling it up. And it wasn't even it was a nice listen, it was probably like a 65 Corvette, but it wasn't in good condition.
Okay, gotcha.
That's what I mean by not what you would expect. You would expect it to be fine. Just looked like he bought it in 65 and just never did anything else to it.
Fair enough.
And he's not an attractive man. Not an attractive man. Not attractive.
Poor guy.
There are definitely people out there who are better looking. Yes.
Was he? I don't know too much about his history, but was he considered a? I know he was
deer hunter. He was pretty sexy back in those days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was an odd guy that there was an attraction to.
Like Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson, yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Owen Wilson drives me crazy. I can't handle. I just can't handle it. Look at Alex. Look at Alex. That he has no idea what he's stepping into tomorrow night.
Some people write shitty scripts, and if it's something that is like a studio is making, they'll buy it. Another studio doesn't overshadow their script. That's not always true. Sometimes they don't really always buy it, so another studio doesn't overshadow them. What they'll do is they'll buy it, and they'll take it, and they'll shelve it until it can become a usable sequel for an entity that exists. That happened with Trolls, the new one. It happens with tons of movies. They buy those scripts to be either made down the line, or they buy them to be remade into sequels, or to fit in some other franchise.
Well, there are people, there's an industry out there. There are men out there who have made livings off of options, just options. Who's she talking about?
That's a good question. I don't know. Alex, probably.
About Christopher Walken.
No, Christopher Walken, definitely. Well, he's getting laid more than everybody.
Alex should be. He's young. He's
a studly young lad.
He still has momentum. Life hasn't kicked him in the balls yet. He never
still believes.
You
Just
think
get out there, man?
You think he's ever seen hair on a vagina? No.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
No, and actually, that's a good point, because why would he see hair when you have Manscaped, the sponsor of the show? Make sure, everybody, you go and check out Manscaped. We talked about him earlier. This is the Lawnmower 3.0. Has a pretty little flashlight and will take care of your downstairs. You go to manscaped.com now for free shipping and 20% off your order. Use the promo code SNOBS, SNOBS. But anyway, go right back to Alex not having sex.
Well, I don't want to ruin our show for Thursday with him, because that's our live. I don't want to give him too much insight of what we're going to.
There's probably a little teaser there. You could drop a little hinty hint, a little something.
Alex
give us a sniff.
hair. He's got a beautiful head of hair. I will give
just so he knows, though, so he's not nervous or worried when all this is going on with Jennifer and I. Me and Jennifer have already had a meeting and talked about it. The show is going to be an hour and a half, but we're just going to talk real slow so he understands, because we know he's from Kentucky. And you know what? We also know, if you look at his Facebook profile, he says he's from Cincinnati.
Ooh, Cincinnati, Kentucky.
Right now. I would, Alex, but you know what? We're getting short on time, and I want to shine the light on Fred, but we will get the.
You're calling him out. We're calling him out.
We could have an Alex versus Fred episode.
I'm down for that.
After the Snobbies.
But getting back to the books part of the anthologies, because I want to make sure I get this out there, because it's been doing well. So I do have another one after the 87 one. So after the summer of 87 comes out, which is August 31st, after that I have Grunge 91. And that is one that I'm trying to include 7 first-time only writers. And
I would like to do that if you will have me.
well, I'll tell you who else is in it already. Dylan Terry. Dylan Terry is in.
Dylan Terry, another great guy. He's from Some Nobodies. He's on the he's on the channel as well.
And Christopher Rudder is in it.
Okay.
Rudder joined today. And me so far. So I have 5 open slots. So I write in all of them. And that's the only, otherwise I'd be able to release, if I didn't write in all of them, I'd be able to release these every week because I just have 8 going. And it's great for a business side thing, but people can't afford to buy these. They're expensive.
And people just aren't buying books that rate anymore, you know?
No, and that's where, so any authors that are out there, the one thing I will always tell them is make sure your cover is kick-ass, because a shitty book with a great cover will far outsell a great book with a shitty cover.
True.
That's true.
And that's that. Don't judge a book by its cover. Fuck that line.
No naked lunch all day just because of the cover.
Especially in the digital world we're living, because you have to turn people on with a 2-inch picture. And I've been turning girls on with a 2-inch penis for a long time.
Same.
Yeah. So we should get together and we'll have 4 inches.
Yeah, it'd be exciting.
And if you just shave with Manscaped, everybody will see that 2 inches.
Yeah, you have to shave. I'm great at it. I'm a great shaver at this point. I mean, that adds at least a half inch to my length.
Required.
It takes care of it. But I will tell you this. I'm very excited with the new book. I've read the first couple of chapters. I'm still going. I can't wait for Summer of '87. That sounds like it's going to be brilliant. I will skip over the Alex Steele part. No, I'm just kidding. Of course I will.
Mine, I chose Rocket Queen by Guns N' Roses is what I'll be writing. And I had already written a script called The Summer of '87 about because Summer of '87 is my favorite year. That was my life was just going really good for me.
That great outdoors summer that experience.
Yeah.
I believe July 21st, Guns N' Roses album came out. The girls were, the AIDS epidemic had just ended. They were putting out again.
I don't know that ended was what it was.
Well, it ended.
Yeah.
Kind of like COVID, where after a year, we're like, you know what? I'm okay. I'll take the
We're going to be fine. Fuck it.
Take the chance.
What are the real stats? How bad is it going to be? 5%? I'll roll those dice.
But I did want to say, finishing the Seattle grunge one, anybody out there that's interested, because there's so many people out there that are always saying, I'd love to write a book, but they don't know how. They don't have the know-how for the rest of it. So I'm giving them the opportunity, and it's cost them nothing. All they have to do is write the story, and they'll get an even split. It's split 8 ways, all the money. And it's not much. You're not going to make, but you'll get notoriety and you'll get an opportunity to call yourself an author. Yeah. And so I've got 5 slots open right now. Anybody
notice I said I wanted to do it, and it's still 5 slots.
We got to talk after and we got to commit. But on this one, you have to choose from one of the 3 albums. Seattle Grunge 91. You got to choose from Soundgarden, Bad Motor Finger,
awesome,
Pearl Jam 10, or Nirvana's Nevermind.
That's
one song. Once you choose the song, it's yours. Nobody else could choose it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's plenty of songs to choose from on those.
Oh, yeah.
But a lot of people have come out and asked me why I didn't include Alice in Chains. So I'll tell them now, because Alice in Chains released an album in 1990 and 1992, not 91.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the reason.
It's dirty, but I like it.
And he was found, 20 years ago today? Wayne Staley?
I think so. Yep.
After being dead for 14 days. He was dead for 14 days when they found him. But they found
close friends.
Him
Close friends checking on him.
Yeah. Really good. Good job, Seattle Police Department.
Yeah, well done. Well done.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, anyway, as we kind of wind down, I want to pitch a little bit more with the book. So everybody go check out the 70s 8-track. I bought a copy. It is a beautifully thick book, just like a beautifully thick penis that Fred is sporting. We know it. It's not just about the double D's, everybody. So go check out the 70s 8-track, a rock anthology. Read this now. I mean, it's just fun. It's well written. You're getting into songs that we know and we love. And then we're going to be getting the 80s. Then we're going to be getting the 90s. And then I can't wait to write for the 2000s one and get some Creed in there, of course.
Well, Backstreet Boys, of course.
Well, I saw that, actually. Did you see what I put? Because he was trashing Matchbox 20. I'm a huge Matchbox 20 fan. I really am.
And Rob Thomas or just the band?
No, I love Rob Thomas. I think his solo stuff is spot on. So I've got tickets to see them. So I'm hoping COVID doesn't kill this. July 19th, I'm seeing them with Jacob Dylan opening up.
Oh, man.
That's
sweet. Awesome. Man, yeah, COVID killed my shot at seeing Celine Dion. Bitter. Real bitter.
Yeah, I bet.
And when in Casey talks like that, we do this.
Yeah.
Why? Celine Dion's amazing. She's a treasure. Why in the world would you deny me those words?
You know what? Since we're live, I don't know much about Casey. I know Mick has a wife and all that. Do you?
No. Single as the day is long, sir.
Okay. And you don't. What's your sexual preference?
Oh, I prefer the ladies.
Okay. Prefer? I mean, are you sure?
Yeah, pretty sure.
I mean, really sure. I
mean, definitely pretty totally sure.
I mean, I'm really sure that there's no preference. That's what I'm going for.
I'm mostly convinced.
Yes, I'm very motivated by it. Okay, so
it inspires me.
So why did you leave Connecticut?
For me, I joined the Virginia Air National Guard and came down here to Virginia and had family down here, and I lived with them for a little bit and then just kind of branched out on my own, and Virginia was a place I stayed.
And how'd you meet Mick?
Here in Virginia, actually, through friends while I was a bartender, through his brothers from Jersey.
Yeah, my brothers were living down here. They're both Marines, and at the time they were stationed in Quantico down in this area, and one of them became a Metropolitan Police officer. And so I would come down and visit, and Casey, they were like, all right, hey, listen, you guys are geeks for stupid shit. And like, that was literally how they said it to us. They were like, you guys are geeks for stupid shit. You'll get along. And we did, because we are. And not stupid shit, but we are.
Yeah, it's awesome shit, but awesome shit. Geeks.
Exactly. Okay. So, Casey and I, and he was podcasting, I was podcasting. We were, I was still doing the filmmaking at the time, and we would just kind of hang out every time I came down. And then I moved here, and Casey was the person to offer me a place to live.
Darn tootin'.
Wow, that's very, very nice of him. Maybe you were one of his preferences.
Oh, darling.
I would absolutely taken him up on that, but he never went for it.
Never.
I wouldn't.
The idea of kissing a guy just doesn't fit. It's not a me thing. Can't do it.
I wouldn't touch it. This guy's got a baby arm cock. I'm not going anywhere near that thing.
It's just terrifying.
Well, I just wanted the reach arounds. That's it.
Yeah, no, it was like Godzilla.
A reach around.
Comfortable.
You got to put your hands like this.
That's why there was an awkward stack of tires in the corner of the garage for the first year he lived with me.
Oh, I need it to stand. All right. Anyway, that's 20 questions with Casey, and that's when we love
that helps. I just want to. I don't hear any backstory on Casey.
It's more fun. I like to think of myself as the Joker.
Yeah,
it's true. All right, I'm going to take back I'm going to edit out everything I said, so that way we get no backstory on Casey.
Only if they saw it live. You go back through and just delete all of it out.
This backstory is brought to you by a live exclusive Scene Snobs.
Okay. Imagine the 3 people watching right now.
I have 8 people watching, sir. 8.
Nice.
Jennifer 77 says that makes that's because you weren't Manscaped back then, Mick. That's true.
True.
That's true.
Yep.
I'm Manscaped now.
Now though, it doesn't bounce back. It's not like a Brillo pad.
There's no cushion around.
We got 3 minutes left, right?
Mm-hmm.
About that.
Okay. I want to throw my hat into the ring of why I'm better than Jeff Dwoskin.
Okay, before you do, let's set it up. You guys are both nominated. Actually, you two and Jeff Dwoskin and some others are all nominated for the Best Podcaster of the Year award.
Yes.
on the Snobby Awards, which is this Sunday at the 25th at 2 p.m., hosted by Casey and myself, and we're going to have a lot of guests coming on. So before we get started, Jeff Dwoskin is also a part of this, and please go with your campaign, sir.
But he doesn't deserve it. He doesn't deserve it. Okay. Jeff has all these great. Who do you have on? Robin this week?
Yeah, man. How awesome is that?
He had Robin on. Well, it's awesome if it's 1964.
It's awesome now.
It's awesome. But, okay, Jimmy Starr, Jeff Dwoskin, Fred Carroll, Rebecca McKendry, Maria Daniels, and Casey Plott.
Yeah, get rid of that last one. That's a bit. It's a bad bit. The rest of them
are a bit.
Well, who knows? The judges. How many judges are there?
72 worldwide.
We got a handful.
A handful? And they're all biased?
Oh, absolutely. Of course.
They are not actually. I mean, a lot of them didn't know the shows going in. Like all of the shows going in.
It wasn't until they saw who made their checks out, who did the signing there. That's when they realized who they were fans of.
That's why I hit it.
So I have no problem. I did receive one message from somebody connected to us, whether or not I'm serious. So first of all, never assume I'm serious. Ever assume I'm serious. I talk to Jeff every day. We are friends. I don't care if I lose to Jeff. Now, if I beat him, though, it's going to be episode. He will know he lost to me. Okay. Now, will you tell who came in second, who came in third, or is it just who won?
I think it'll just be winners.
Yet.
Yeah.
They're not picked yet, and they won't be revealed until the award show on Sunday.
Yeah, we're not going to have I don't think we're going to rank them. I think it'll just be who won the category, as opposed to
I had each judge come back to me with their picks, and we ranked, and so everything will be figured out. I put it all together. I'm not judging, and I'm not picking winners, but it's all based on the rankings and stuff like that. So once it comes, everything is all put together, I will put it in an envelope, and Casey and I will be the only ones to know until Sunday.
So the Red Sox just won.
Oh yeah!
Boo!
Oh, woohoo!
Another win.
Boo! Your stupid green wall.
Put it in the books, baby. Put it in the books. Now, see, Jeff Dwoskin could never watch a Red Sox game and be live on the air at the same time, which makes me superior to him.
Clearly.
And, I just want to say I'm better. I don't like losing. I'm not from Michigan. I know what Michigan's just
Are they more tepid on losing? They don't care as much when they lose. They're like, it's all right. Maybe tomorrow. We have problems on the East Coast when we lose. We're not fans.
Right. We have riots break out if I lose.
Just saying.
You guys I need votes. That's what I need. I need some pity votes. I need a girlfriend if anybody's out there. Those are nice to have. And even if you're from a far distance, even better. It's, I don't have a lot of time, but I have some time.
If our schedules link up, who knows? There you go.
I'm available.
You've heard it here first, folks. Everybody jump on the Fred train.
That is a fantastic pitch. That's Fred with 2 Ds, ladies. You can find him as number 3289. That's contestant 3289.
But before you end it, one thing we did not speak of is my Ending the Stigma.
Yes.
So Ending the Stigma is my serious show where you could see serious Fred to a point. It's where me and Scott H. Silverman discuss world issues from mental health, suicide prevention, anxiety, all kinds of anything to do with life issues. And we have a live call-in number, which is 888-261-2220. We're live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So you can catch that tomorrow. And if you're an addict or have an addiction, you could call in. If you have a brother, a sister, a mother, anybody, we will at least listen, which is half the battle. But we do have advice. We just can't give medical advice. Put it that way. We're not certified to give medical advice. We could give you our opinion on where you could begin your path to recovery. So that's my good deed thing.
The positive show.
And then I always put that up that the suicide hotline, if anybody's having an issue, is 1-800-273-8255. So that's the good side. That's the karma side of me. So you notice I mentioned that I'm single before I mentioned the good stuff I do.
That was nice.
Well,
Good
no,
time.
it kind of drives that point home, I think.
It's marketing. Marketing.
And what a beautiful job you do, sir.
Yes.
Because every woman who heard Fred is single and is like, what?
Well, they're sitting there pondering it. They're going, well, he's okay.
I mean, how single is he? How big is his heart?
Well, I look at Jeff, I look at Jeff Dwoskin and I go, I'm a Michigan 4. And
I mean, look at that brow line. He's well put together. The guy's well put together.
And it's tough around there. I live in a tough area for, the women are just in great shape. The plastic surgery, all the stuff that goes along with it. It's tough. It's tough for this mug to maintain. Plus, I'm an asshole.
Well, I figured that was more attractive. It's been a while since I've been up north then.
It's
I remember those being positive traits.
You know what? It's attractive till it's not attractive. That's where I fall into the zone. I'm an awesome guy until I'm not the awesome guy.
Ah, yeah.
Fair enough.
I get it.
It's how it works.
I will tell you, we are very happy that you came on the show, man. We're very happy to have you part of the channel. Of course, like you said, you can watch Ending the Stigma. It's a very helpful show and fantastic and informative every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. You can also check out right here on the Scene Snobs channel every Thursday at 7 p.m. within the Head of Fred. Make sure you go out and I'm going to show it again. The 70s 8-track, a rock anthology. Go pick the book up now or get it on Kindle. It is a little bit more than 99 cents, but it's because he's worth it. There's $1 attached to it for every inch of his penis. So make sure you go get that Kindle. So yes, thank you, Fred, for coming on the show tonight, man. We really appreciate it. We had a great time.
Great chat, buddy. It was a blast. Thank you.
I love talking to you.
Absolutely. Awesome. Yeah, we will definitely get you back on because we always have a fun time. And then next time we're going to have some topics ready for you. Like why the Red Sox suck for so bad.
You know, one question I always had for you, Mick?
What's that?
I've seen pictures of the room you're in, still pictures that you have on your Facebook profile.
Mm-hmm.
And when it's on camera, it looks like it's 20 feet long, but it's not.
Nope.
It's not that long at all. Is that something you do? Or?
No, it's just a camera that I'm using. It's the lens I'm using. So it's got good depth, but it's about, I'd say 10 feet, 9.
Oh, it's got good depth.
Oh, yeah. Great. I need the size from my dick.
And how do you keep your wife and kids quiet while you're doing this?
I say, be quiet now. No, they're on a completely different side of the house, so I'm good. They just do their thing. And the kids are, I got to give it to the kids. They're really respectful about like what I do and, not running around or being crazy.
Yeah, they're pretty awesome kids.
Yeah, and they get it. They love it, so they respect it.
Yeah, good.
But I will say this, I appreciate everybody watching and being a part of it tonight. I want to thank our guest, Fred Carroll, for joining in, author, podcaster of the year, maybe. We shall see this Sunday. Remember the Snobby Awards. Yeah, we will see.
Jennifer was not happy. She wasn't included in that.
Well, she's included in the show. Your show was. Mm-hmm. She would get an award for the show.
She's not getting the Podcaster of the Year award, though.
We didn't say you were.
That we know of. She could be a write-in over me.
There you go. Casey will
stay in my position.
Her award and give it to give Ving Rhames his award and give it to her. But remember,
I'm going to do the Double D Awards, and that's going to be worst mic, shakiest camera, worst host. Jennifer quits if he wins. Yeah, because you'll never hear the end of it. It'll be just gloating over and over.
Just constantly holding it up like, check it out.
But I do want to say to everybody, so 2 p.m. Eastern this Sunday, make sure you're watching. It is the Snobby Awards, hosted by Casey and myself, and we're going to have a slew of guests jump in. So we are getting started with that. We'll announce the winners. Also, again, we're brought to you by Manscaped. I want to thank them. They are amazing. Their products are amazing. Their products are amazing. Then you got to take the guest out. So no, the products are amazing. So remember, if you want 20% off of free shipping, go to Manscaped. Use promo code SNOBS, SNOBS. And also, just so you guys know, we are available as a podcast on all podcast platforms. Go to thescenesnobs.com. We have all our links there and more. And we also have our Patreon, which is available now, $5 a month, and you get all the exclusives that come with it.
Can we dance now? Can we
Of
You
course
can
we
dance.
can.
You go right
Let's
ahead. You want to
dance.
dance this out? Go for it.
Ooh, yeah. Love and appreciate y'all. Happy 420. Enjoy.
Jesus Christ. All right, everybody. Well, this has been a lot of fun, and I will talk to you later. And that's our show, everybody. Thanks for listening or watching, wherever you're checking it out. This show is brought to you by our sponsor, Manscaped. Go check them out. They are saving our balls, and they can save yours too, or somebody you care about. It's a pretty awesome device, so go check out what they got, the Lawnmower 3.0, the Weed Whacker, and more. It's a great gift for Father's Day, birthdays, weddings, anything. So yeah, head over there and use promo code SNOBS, SNOBS, and you'll get 20% off and free shipping. Also, we'd like to thank our super fan patrons. They are all Scene Snob family to us. They support us every month, and you can be one too. So head over to the Patreon channel, the Scene Snobs, and it's $5 a month, and you can join in with helping support us and get the free perks too. Also, you can follow us on social media. We are on everything at the Scene Snobs, so Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. We are on Facebook, the Scene Snobs. Everywhere. We have fun stuff always going on, always have contests and stuff, so go follow us, check us out. You can go to our link tree by going to thescenesnobs.com. There's our link tree, there's our Patreon, there is all of our shows and the links for all of that, so thanks again for checking it out. Just head over to thescenesnobs.com where everything is, and we will talk to you soon.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.